So Dogukan, thank you for inviting me to your cymbal foundry factory. What is it? What's this place?
We can say foundry, yeah.
Foundry?
Yes.
And I'm always curious about different professions and what different people do with their lives, and you're doing something very interesting here. What got you involved in these things?
Well, I've been in this business, let's say, long time, and I worked for this business at the beginning, and then I decided to open up my own production, my own foundry. Mm-hmm. And regarding, I think 3 years we have been in our own, production, and we have our own foundry. Mm-hmm. And our products all, handmade, and we keep going the traditional way of cymbal production and the old technologies, I mean. Mm-hmm. And the most important thing is to find out the great team.
Right.
That's why I have been trying to find out the best cymbal smiths, and I believe that I did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Your products are around the world now. That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
It's kind of exciting.
Yeah. Sure.
When someone makes a splash, that's your sound. That's
yeah. Yeah.
The process seems very interesting, and just like looking here, these are all the
shaves, yeah,
shavings off the cymbals and some of the finished products. And I love these tools. This is very, seems very. I don't want to use the word primitive, but very, original from how they were when cymbals were first being made, which goes back quite a few centuries, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. This business has to be with the old technologies, mm-hmm. And because this is not a metal business, it's an ancient art. So we have to keep going the same way of the old days, mm-hmm. and our equipments are totally, I can say that, the equipments which have been used long time ago. So we keep the same way to find out the best sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
What makes the sound? Is it the materials? Is it how it's the metals are heated? Is it how they're turned? Is there any sort of, I know it's all probably secret to a certain degree, but what is the what's the most important thing? Is the metals you use? Is it the ovens? Is it the hammers? I have no idea. Of course, obviously it's skill, that's number one. But what are all the sort of components that are required to?
Well, the first thing which we really care about is the products has to be hammered by hand. Mm-hmm. And because the automatic hammers always, change the sustain, change the characteristic of sound, and when a cymbal smith try to finish a cymbal from the beginning till the end by hand hammer, mm-hmm.
It
gives the cymbal, maybe I can say that the master's characters,
mm-hmm.
because all our customers, every time trying to ask me the same question, and they come up and they say, plus they visit the foundry and they say, why you don't want to enlarge the capacity, why you don't want to hire a lot of guys to do it. And my mentality is I have to keep going the same quality.
Right.
So the first thing is this, mm-hmm. the hand hammer.
Yeah. I'm curious. There's holes drilled in this thing or cut in here. What's the reason for this? I know a little bit about drums and and cymbals, but what's this signify?
Well, we just want to try to come up with a trashy sound, mm-hmm. and the holes has to be drilled so good. That's why. Sometimes we go to a place and draw an AutoCAD stuff,
mm-hmm.
to find out the best place, best holes for the cymbals, mm-hmm. and regarding with our researchers, in other words, those 6 holes gives the best trashy sound for the cymbal.
Yeah. I remember back home, watching the drummers picking out their cymbals, and they'd be there for hours tapping each cymbal, and each one is a work of art, I guess, isn't it? It's art.
Yes, that's right. So drummers are different because it looks like maybe I like black color, maybe you like red color so much. That's why the Turkish cymbals are each cymbal has its own color, in other words. So when the drummer show up and try to find out the sound, they have to they want to touch all the cymbals, and they want to hit all the cymbals, and when they figure out that the sound is the sound which they are looking for, they feel really appreciate, and they feel really happy.
When you're decided to start this business, and there's competition, I guess, in this industry, and I've heard people say that there's one factory makes 15 different brands and they put different stamps on it, and is this like difficult in the world of cymbal making? Competition. Are most of the places like what you're doing, or are other ones more sort of big factories, or?
First of all, we just want to keep going to produce our own products, our own brand name. And that's true. There's a really big competition, and even though there are not so much factories in the world, there is a really big competition. But what I heard from the foreign countries, they want to buy Turkish cymbals so much, but they have some small problems about getting cymbals. Maybe just because of the tax situation. Maybe it's far away, the transportation cost is so high. But I personally think that we can find out the way to deliver the products with the cheapest way. But the most important thing is we have to be so careful about the products first and the customer service. And I believe that my customers can easily call me whatever they need, and I always online on Skype, and I can answer their questions, and I'm so serious about the delivery time, and it's important, by the way. That's why I have my own aim in my mind, and I want to try to keep going to do that.
So you want to remain an artisan, you want to maintain customer service, you want to have the best products available, and the best sounds. I know that when people think of drums, they think of the old 70s or 80s drum solos, and the big kits and everything else like that. But there's more than just sort of that big, glam rock drum kit, and there's other areas of music playing. People sort of think of that big, I can't think of any names. I'm terrible. I'm sorry about that. Of the famous drummers, with the big kits. I know Neil Peart from Rush in Canada, because I'm Canadian, right? So he had the huge kit. He's got 70 drums and cymbals in there. It's this massive. But there's other genres of music, other types of music, and is this for rock and roll? Is this for jazz? I don't know. Are there different types of cymbals for different genres of music?
Sure. So we try to come up with 10 different lines, and each line suits for different type of music, and the one which have the brilliant look, always used for rock music, and the one which is totally unique look, sometimes for jazzy sound, sometimes for funk, so it changes. And also the drum weights is really important, and we are totally open for ideas, and I mean for customers, and we can make whatever they need.
Right.
All they need to do is just try to come up with the regular ground weights and the lading style. That's it.
Yeah. So this type of cymbal will be used for what type of music then?
Well, the FX, the whole cymbals a little bit change, because sometimes they want to use for rock, and some drummers can use it for maybe jazzy sound. So we can say that FX lines with the holes is totally different. Yes.
So it sort of fits into
yeah,
different areas.
it can fix.
I'm just going to reach over here for a second, because this one here I'm curious about, because this one is kind of very thin and flimsy. Is this supposed to be like this? Or if I bought one, I'd say, hey, it's broken, you know? Like, this is a special style of...
Yes. It's a flexible type, and again, it has a trashy sound and short sustain, you know. And people, drummers, sometimes use that type of cymbals. I mean, together with a big one, you know, on one cymbal stand, and it gives more trashy sound. So yeah, we have different lines.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, are there different types of cymbals for different types of music? Like, I know there's rock and roll, I know there's jazz and things like that, but what other genres are there that have cymbals designed specifically for them?
Yeah. Nowadays, people just trying to come up with gospel lines for the gospel drummers. Yeah.
Interesting.
And there are a lot of manufacturers trying to do the gospel line, but I already figured out that you know, everybody trying to do the same thing, in other words. And we just try to find out a different thing, and we spend almost 6 months to research and to see what we can do for a new line for gospel drummers. And we check out a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, and some drummers want to put the cross to the drum heads, and I already saw one guy just holding a big kick and big cross, and you know, our team, you know, and I try to do it on cymbal, because we are a cymbal manufacturer.
Right.
And we spent, as I told you before, that we spent almost 6 months to see how we can do it. And we did it, and also we have a
I was noticing over here. This is very fascinating. It's, you know, I find this always interesting, because, you know, cymbals are this beautiful polished.
Yes.
This is a 13-inch crash. Okay, I know something about cymbals there. See, and you know, this beautiful turned underside, and then this one's very fascinating. It's turned over, and there's a cross. That's very fascinating. So this, I guess, this process is somewhat secret then. How you've done this? There's the shiny part and the black hammered part. It's very very unique. You're not going to tell me how you do it, right?
Yeah, it's a simple thing, but it's really hard to think, you know. But we find out the way to produce that kind of cymbals, and it's so new, by the way.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try to send some samples to our endorsers and who plays gospel music, and we're gonna see their comments, you know.
Yeah, that's
and I believe that it will work.
Yeah, that's very, very good. Well, you know, you have to always, you know, be one step ahead of the competition, as they say. And gospel is a large market, is it? I'm kind of surprised to hear that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Wow,
there's a huge market, and you know, we have to be careful about that market, because it's a sensitive, you know, subject. So that's why we have to make the cymbal without any mistake.
Right.
And I believe that we did it, and we're gonna see, you know, we're gonna send some samples.
That's great. Other areas, there's rock and roll, jazz, gospel now. Other areas of music that have sort of specialties with their I don't know, marching bands, I guess. I don't know. There's
Yeah, especially in U.S. market, the cymbals, has a huge, potential, and we're gonna send that type of cymbals first to U.S. and we're gonna see their, comments on that. And the second step for the gospel line, maybe we can change the look a little bit. And also nowadays we're recording a video, and we're gonna put it in YouTube as soon as possible. And I believe that when the drummers saw the video, first they can they would have a chance to hear the sound. Second, they can easily see the view. And if we hear some comments, we can change a little bit the way to make that type of cymbals.
great.
We're totally open.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, I'm so glad I've had this is the first cymbal factory I've ever been to in my life. It's very exciting for me. I love the acoustics, and the whole process is now less a mystery to me. And again, Dogukan, thank you so much for speaking with me.
Thank you so much. It's a big pleasure to meet with you.